the office of the Dimapur Naga Students Union has convened this press conference to address a matter of serious concern which directly affects the rights and the future of the Nagas, which is the illegal occupation of land by non-locals individuals using fraudulent documents. The office has undertaken internal fact findings, and we possess credible and documentation and proof of these unlawful activities. We want to be very clear, and please be reminded that we are not against the non-local communities who are doing business here and living peacefully within our state. However, we strongly oppose those individuals who comes in the guise of doing business and earning a livelihood in our state and engage in illegal activities like the illegal occupation of land. One such case involves Mr. Nirmal Jain, who has illegally procured land and illegally procured an Indigenous Certificate. He claims that he is a genuine citizen, genuine indigenous of Nagaland. However, the proof and evidences which we have in our office speaks otherwise. Subsequently he has purchased land and engaged in multiple transactions which he is not legally entitled to undertake. The DNSU has gathered sufficient evidence in this matter, and we are bringing this into the public attention not because of biasness or hatred towards anybody, but to protect the rights and the land of the Nagas. Let it be known that the office of the Dimapur Naga Students Union will not be taking law into our own hands. We will be officially submitting a letter to the government through the Deputy Commissioner of Dimapur tomorrow and urge the government to initiate a thorough investigation and take proper legal action against the culprit. Furthermore, we also appeal to our politicians, to our bureaucrats, to our Naga national workers and influential Naga people not to support and not to shield such individuals. Let the law take its own course of action. We do know and understand the level of influence such person has in our state. He is someone who boldly declares that he is closely connected with the politicians, with the bureaucrats, and all these things. But the rights of the indigenous people cannot and should not be compromised under any circumstances. The office of the Dimapur Naga Students Union remains committed to safeguarding the interests of the Naga people and will continue to be a voice against any injustice in all forms. That's from my part. I would like to give time to my colleagues and President to highlight in detail.
Oh, thank you, OGS. The gist of the issue regarding today's press conference has been clearly explained by RGS. However, I would also like to add some points. Naga Manukhandu Article 371A Act Mohanke protect Kurigen as explicitly protects non-locals from exploiting us. Regarding the ownership of land also, this means that non-locals are legally prohibited from purchasing lands within Nagaland. Any transaction that attains to bypass or violate these protections, including through proxy ownership or the fraudulent use of indigenous certificates, is illegal, null, and void, and will be challenged. On May 29, DNSU also gave a press release regarding this. Manu non-locals can be fraudulent means para India Kurina mati kini kena bugiase. Aru itu ekla nahuina. Tai khan la bitode transaction kuriase. Aru itia this particular name Nirmal Jain, tai illegally fraudulent means para indigenous certificate loike ase, aru he is one land mafia na line mafia go. Tai ini mati laga pata khan bi tai temper kuri kena bikiri kurubo manu non indigenous manu khan ode bikiri kurubo ina kuri kena ahi ase tai tu le tu 2002 de indigenous certificate banai na ase itu bi wahan GS Park Coalition we have compelling evidence to show that tai tu le tu hostal non indigenous na hoy tai 1980s de Dimapura hala ase kuine wahan itu khan khobor pura evidence pura ase man ode aru tai du le du mohan tai ke office de bi jaine log paise ye de bi aise ina one tai du le du mo fitani para ko ase moi du le du dangor manu khan ke jaine ase like under naga political groups khan ke bi dangor manu khan ke jaine ase government de will bi dangor manu khan ke jaine ase kuine imam fitani para bi mohan ke ina bi koi je to mohan du le du we will, like we say, will let the law takes its own course of actions, but the government should take and initiate strict action, investigate kuro lage, kuine wahantu itu government ke mani ase.
The office of the Dimapur Naga Student Union, we have studied, we have thoroughly discussed, we have intensive research, and we found that Nirmal Jain is no other than a land mafia in Dimapur. Associated with some high-profile people in Nagaland, and we are also shocked to see that he had already acquired buildings and properties in and around Dimapur in someone names. So, if the government of the day can evict the land encroachment in airport Dimapur, then the government has the right to seize the property of Nirmal Jain under the Article 371A. Ownership and transferring of land and its resources, preserving the traditional rights of the Naga people, and the very land of the Nirmal Jain can be used as a public property or for development purpose. Thank you.
Tell us back to how these activities came to light.
So, Dimapur Naga Student Union, we gave a press conference. I think last year we also say that we will be doing verification, especially on ILP. Now, when we talk about verification of ILP, most of the people assume that Dimapur Naga student will just walk out of the street and started, asking ILP inner line permit or pass to random people. But actually, it was not like that. We just said verification in the sense like to some high-profile people who are misusing the identity in fraudulent means like procuring of Indigenous Certificate, or maybe they came before prior to 1960 or not. So that we actually meant. So we are doing this verification, fact finding on our part. Then we came to this this Nirmal Jain issue came to the light. On asking around to few non-locals individuals who have procured land, whether they are indigenous or not, almost all of them, non-locals that have purchased land here in Dimapur, is all sold by the Nirmal. Then we went and we also had a talk with him because he's senior, elder. So with respect, we went to his office and we also had a talk. Then we found out itu Nirmal Jain la kahani tu public na jane holibi high profiles kan kunba khan noile down man khan noile kunba government officers kan bi bureaucrats kan bi Nirmal la itu tala activities ta ki kore tu jan thakino parabo, that I highly doubt it. Kile man ke log kore jane Nirmal la itu ada pato hodo jane sab man be ekta pato hai aur ita bi Dimapur de mati विकास है तो माटी कुन विकास है तो निर्मल जन विकास है कोई तो माटी कुन आसे तो निर्मल जन विकास है कोई माटी तो निर्मल जन माटी आसे कोई और ट्रांजैक्शन की खान सब निर्मल जन पर करे से माटी तो दाम फिक्स करबो ऊपर सब তো যাইকিনে চাইছিলোঁ তো ডকুমেণ্টছটো নাগা মানলা এনা থাকিছে তো হি ৱাজ স্মাৰ্ট তাইতো স্মাৰ্ট আছে অনেষ্টলি তো তাই লেন মাফিয়া থাকিছে হি কেম নাগালেণ্ড তাই এৰ্লি 80s আসে তাই 80s এণ্ড দেন তাইতো সোহনলাল শেঠি না কোন আছে বেছি লোকে একাউণ্টেণ্ট ফৰ 2 years কৰিছে বেছি এণ্ড দেন দ্যাটছ হাউ তারা ফার্স্ট তাই ডিমাপুরটা হাত হইতে তো তাই 80s আসে তো হোয়াট হি ডিড ওয়াজ তাই ইন্ডিজিনিয়াস সার্টিফিকেট কিনা কোনো লইছে করে তো আই উইল গিভ ইউ দ্য ফাইলস ইন ডিটেলস মিডিয়া সাইড মই ফ্ল্যাশ করব মখান এটা তো পাবলিক ডোমেইন এক্সপোজ করব কেন কোয়া নিশনা মখান তো এক্সপোজ করাস itu tala Indigenous Certificate আছে 2002 তে এপ্লাই কৰি না থাকিছে তো 2002 তে তো নিৰ্মাল জৈন son of late Balchan Jain resident of Kalibari village town council in Dimapur district of Nagaland belongs to Marwari community and that she Nirmal Jain and his family ordinarily reside in Kalibari village a town in Dimapur district of the state Nagaland and his legitimate guardian name has been registered in the electoral roll published on 05/02/1964 electoral roll day vice serial number 681 kindly note this electoral roll 1964 there serial number 681 town voting rights eta saisa pra take indigenous dish to ami kan 1964 681 serial number te jai shakule to I will prove tai kina korna tai tai either tai government officers logo tai link up thakini to banaise na tai government ki tai dhokha di kina banaise itu thakibo clear to tai bishi chalak hoise he is very clear he is a very mastermind everybody knows about him down high profile tai jan thaibo tala ki risk ase 681 there Balchan Jain to ami itu dikhilu she and then I call him first motel office jata hai to ki kobo ami khana just pro condition he's talking about all these high profile people national workers nami jo politician nambi loise and he even say that before I was born he is here in Dimapur to mohi duplicate naga ta hi original naga hoise and his attitude the audacity to say kilo mologa ase government ko dibi government ko diase na to the attitude of Nirmal Jain boldly speaking that government ko dibi itu matlab to mokhan ki olop dot lagi ase ki involvement of government bi asni ki tai the way he boldly called to we were also wondering how can he even blame the government mola mokhala bhabna jitu to mokhan itu satu mo down verification kran de to tai tala bhai khan bi ase kuise na to tala bhai khan Nirmal Kumar Jain tala naam ase na Balchan Jain la chokra Nirmal Kumar Jain tala bhai la naam Pradeep Jajari Dilip Jajari Ashok Jajari Aadhaar card pan card sab and they are all related son of Balchan Jain to Pradeep Jajari la documents khan tibi son of Balchan Jain likhina ase Ashok Jajari bi to aro tala dadu Nirmal Kumar Jain which Nirmal we are talking about 681 electoral roll te to itu Balchan Jain to tala babala naam nishna example ami khan naga man bi hinoto noile hokabi bishas to itu Balchan Jain family poila thaka to apni khan bi art nani for electoral art amar sabo already documents ita it's okay already anyone is open to write for art and see apni khan ni sabo to huna to itu Balchan Jain family khan to khandan khan to manipur na kunba jaga te ase kushi to what he did was itu Balchan Jain tala baba no hoy aru itu Balchan Jain to 681 te Balchan Jain thaka to tala bacha khan to Baurilal Jan Balchan Jain na it's very hard to pronounce actually Mahavir Prasad Balchan Jain Kapur Chand Balchan Jain if you want to note it down you can note it down again very media there is na yeah to 681 1964 electoral itu Balchan Jain to Nirmal Jain la baba man because Nirmal Jain la itu Balchan Jain la chokra which he is claiming to be his father is Pradeep Jajari la baba se Dilip Jajari baba se Ashok Jajari baba se aru taham tin to Nirmal Kumar Jain la bhai kana su na to kina kono utu Balchan Jain la chokra alag itla chokra alag aru dusra Balchan Jain aru I went through all this 1964 electoral roll to dusra Balchan Jain aru duita ase moi sath de to itu Balchan Jain nowhere it is related to this Nirmal Jen. To tai itu indigenous to tai recruit kena tai mati bi kingen ase. Mati kingen ase mati kingena mati bi pato number 40 dak number 218 under block number 6. Dimapur Moza number 1. So itu tala pata bi ase. He think he can outsmart us. Tai documents di dishe. He's very good in documentation. But unfortunately, tala itu indigenous certificate pra take durusha. तो इतना तक भी फोर लेने देता माती बिका से ताइपरे बिका से ताला माती पोले प्रासुकली भी डॉक्यूमेंट्स तो ताला ना and his active involvement in selling of land to his own people and non-locals तो 1963 पर आगे पर आहा मन खान ना ये नागालैंड ते बोई जाएगी ना 1963 before the creation of Nagaland state आहा मन खान तो their identities here non-Nagas indigenous na their identity is tahan murli bitoro murbudo so their dream is to get one small land so tai jane to ki nun locals man khan kuni de nothing sish age price tahan to yete thakibra se bacha khami der brota boshe they are not going back to their native homeland so tai it khan mati bikaise randomly na tempering of duck number and tempering of cheetah book everything hogina side wrong occupation so tai it kan sab manipulate kurna tai dikai gina se I was told that kunma man ke tu indigenous na thaka man ke bi mati dikai gina se bish so itu kan mo kan publicly expose ko pai shakile to now in regard to this itu Nirmal Jin tu tai Nagaland ai gina tai first tala kam to tai accountant ko tashi kushe Sohan Lal Shetty na kumala jede accountant 2 years mission nogana tai boi thakina tai itu matila business start hoise matila business start hoigina tai ekbar Delhi dibi jeshi Delhi dibi same thing disputed area khan jaga de tai mati local khan ke huna to weapons bi kinse gose ta to locals gunda khan use kurina tai mati kinta paisa bishi kamaishi tate bi ta paisa bishi kama to ta Nagaland de khushi mushi kurbo para national del deta na pare to law enforcement agency administrative tala piche kora to ara tai Delhi wapas chhagna Nagaland te wapas agna he is continuing this act and I was even told that tai kun to local khan use code action Delhi te local gunda khan use code action itu kan pra gun point pra ta ke khita dishi kushi tai bahar pra ekina apni tu to maybe he was into some big matila kunba transaction down kurina thashini ki he earns a lot of money to nang tai debra lengta hoikina Nagaland ta she arte Nagaland start kwas to mati to poila pra tai kinni rakhin tha to tai mati to bit by bit bigase aro I was told tai kunba naga man to tai logo involved thaka man to already tai logo par bi hati jese guse mati bi ta hamro loi lise guse to at one point I'm not trying to be biased or be kun naga man number mati loi gina su naga man loi lo wala ki to no honestly I'm saying clear to involvement kiba shi involvement for example I'm kan naga man ki te ami aita mon bikha to ini ekta chutu mutu court case kore criminal court case kore makan tate guarantor bisare to poisa garni guarantor jai gena man ke bail code man jai court par mati na ho jaye am kan naga man phas jaye to example to naga mai na jan bish baskina se to itu Nirmal Jin to he cannot continue doing this itu am kan la naga man la mati tai kina kan freely use karo para ase tai ko to be itu documents kan banaba para ase na are the ODC to say that am ke nokobi government ko government banai dishe small kuri gina na to like office di mati she we gave him enough time to कि proof करबे कि आपने खान तो 1960 आगे पढ़ा था proof करो करना कि लिता ती मिसा से ता fraud ता तला बाबा तो 1960 आगे पढ़ा हाई के ना आसे को ता को के ना बोले भी बालजन दुईटा तीनटा आसे तो and some of the बालजन came between that year na तो itu तला बाबा न हा मन खान ला history को किना मोखने को आसे तो तला असल बाबा बालजन तो 681 serial number 1964 te electoral roll te nai to this electoral roll ase all the details here na to apni khan ki moi to pishete soft copy apni khan ke WhatsApp te patai dibo to we are demanding the district administration in the government of Nagaland to further investigate in his active involvement into land mafia he is very powerful honestly I'm saying madhyatne to ami khan ta khanna samaj ke bhi mati she to samaj ke ni mata to bhavishya ki samaj khan pai bhi tai ke কিবা কিবি তাহলে ওপৰতে কিবা কাৰবাই কৰিব নেকি বিকজ reputation of the Marwar Samaj biya ho jibo to ruining the reputation because it will involvement illegal activities involvement to the entire I was told that he is also one of the respected in their Samaj to matisha ha to nirmal jen gusa logo logo Samaj la leader khanu uthikina ta get break korise which means he is very powerful ekdom powerful and people respect him also indigenous elders khanu ta respect kuna ase and he is a habitual offenders tala case bisha ase hali mohan evidence proof nai mohan bi to call mate hali bi tala offend tai to his habitual offenders ara taila adat ase ki any difficulties I should tai to ola pare so this time also he thinks that he will do it will be pressure to the uto to dalgine koshish korshe hali bi para nai itu to ami khan to jiti itu government of Nagaland eviction order kamte nagamala mati khan bi idi kori nasido na jiti am khan la admission khan our government of Nagaland pura itu nirmal jen itu land mafia itu fraud ke action law nai koile tu ami khan public khan ke am khan case korase itu to nagaman la bhal kam karni korase nagaman la identity nagaman la mati la khata ka ase de it karni to public khan bujwa lage we will continuously exposing such people indigenous kiman loikina nagaman la mati kingen ase itu ara ami khan request korase ki hoishe nagaman kun khan ta logo nirmal logo involve thakise kole to no lebi निर्माण लोग क्लोज रिलेशनशिप थाकि गले भी इनी का एक्टिविटीज इनी का मन के तो सपोर्ट नकरबी कोइ केना पॉलिटिशियंस होबी ब्यूरोक्रेट्स होबी नेशनल वर्कर्स होबी इतु तो नकरबी कोइ केना नेशनल वर्कर्स होबी द मूवमेंट ऑफ द नेशनल वर्कर्स इज टू प्रोटेक्ट द आइडेंटिटी एंड आवर लैंड आवर इतु माटी आराम खाने पहचान करनी ता तखन भी कोइ केना से पॉलिटिशियंस आल्सो बीइंग अ पॉलिटिशियन दे आर सपोज्ड टू प्रोटेक्ट द नागास they are not supposed to pave a way to the outsiders to exploit the Nagas. Itu kan itu bujibi public kan DNSU kan hoda DNSU kan ki issue genuine issue to public kan hoda support kore. This time itu issue bishi sensitive ase we need your support. Are itu to action to korbo lage no shiglo to itu man ke action koran to tai to continuous korbo ase aro knowing the fact that DNSU is after him in this case he is still boldly selling off land somewhere in the foreland. और तो माटी भी ताला भी नहीं आता इला आसे हले भी डॉक्यूमेंट्स ताला नाम पड़ भी नहीं तो इतु आमी खान गवर्नमेंट खान के रिक्वेस्ट करसे अथॉरिटी खान रिक्वेस्ट करसे कार्रवाई जब लगे इन्वेस्टिगेशन जब लगे और इतु ताला तो तापर 1960 पर आईबी नहीं भी तापर गोइशा डलप ताई तो ताला बाबा तो 1964 ला प्राय के ना से कुछ तो प्रूव करबी ना ताला बाबा तो कुन दिया टच कुन दे जा रहा था किसे ना ए तो प्रूव दी बोला कि तो प्रूव ही नहीं तो खतरा का तो और तो prove koshile that dusaman balchanjan la nam loi thaku which is not his father ina going to balchanjan la indigenous to immediately seize korbo lage itu kan to ami kan later ami kan la dc ge later diboga ase dibola ase ami kan la just proclamation commission of Nagaland gibi dibola ase sorry itu indigenous to seize korbo lage aru itu indigenous fact indigenous la nam protai mati loi kina thaka any privileges and benefit have taken through this indigenous should all be seized, should all be stopped. I'm going to call this.
Police file FIR, any plans on that, or only after approaching the government you expect the government to file suo motu?
Actually, see, Ami Khan itu first Ami Khan konishna public expose koro na kurish. Ami Khan public expose korise. Kle public expose korise itu sa panjan balagi. Because the way he talk and the way talks are going around, he's closely linked with so many high profile it seems. Na jane ita to holbi durusha koile no be any government officials chances are there that government officials are also involved in issuing such kind of pata to him na tai mati kiman biga ase itu pata bi tabra banai dia sudo namra naga manas gosbi itu naga man ke mati ken kushi ta di ko ata pata najne to kiman square feet ase total length of square feet ase pata number kun ta ase dak number ke ase na block number kun jaga ta ase itu bi najne to ko nishne itu sab officials can be involved kan thakba pare holi bi ko nishna ami kan publicly expose korbo ka to for accountability and transparency as a DNSU as an NGO, pressure group, also to the administrative, let the public know. Action take a long way to them. ইউটিউব সেটা আমি খান এফআইআর লজ করব না কি করলা সে ডিস্ট্রিক্ট অ্যাডমিনিস্ট্রেশন পদ শিখলে তো কথা কোলা কাম নাই তো এভরিথিংস আর देयर সিধা যাই কিনা সিজ করব লাগে তো স্টপ করব লাগে তো এটা ইন্ডিজিনাস সার্টিফিকেট তো ইনি এটা তো ইন্ডিজিনাস সার্টিফিকেট নকই দে দ্য গভর্নমেন্ট ডিসাইডেড গিভ পিআরসি permanent residence certificate হলে পুরো ইন্ডিজিনাস থাকি তো এই দোকান তো সব ক্লোজ করে রাখি দিব লাগে देयर इज नो सच कि कारवाई जाइसे गुलिबी इतो इमीडिएट एविडेंस আছে इलेक्ट्रॉन 1964 আমি খান এটা লিস্ট বি এটা আছে অ্যাটাচমেন্ট আই উইল গিভ ইউ তালা মাটি বি এটা আছে তাই মাটি আমি খানকে সাবমিট করতে টেকলা দিছলে বি তালা নাম্বার 2 দিন দাবি থাকো পরে itu তো পুরো ওলাই যাব ল্যান্ড রেভিনিউ অফিসার অফিস দে যাই কিনা তালা ডিটেইলস হচ্ছে তো তালা নাম পুরা মাটি কিমান আছে না প্রপার্টি কিমান আছে ইটো ওলাই যাব তো ইটো তো গভর্নমেন্ট না আছে ইনফ্যাক্ট মাটি লই না থাকি তো গভর্নমেন্ট না থাকি তো এনক্রোচ কোনো ভাল আছে তো এইটো কাৰণে এইটো আমি খান পাব্লিকলি ডোমেইন ওলাই কিনে আছে ইটো পিছত আমি খান লেটাৰ লিখিব to our Commissioner of Nagaland through our DC by tomorrow. Aro itu to makan presidential meeting bi kurna ase we have been discussing regarding this case for so long. Our trouble in it also. Yeah.
One the to train station there, how much encroachment is going on, and it is open secret that previous administrators or officials have given out the land pata illegally. That is the issue with the government. No, how can you say that the government will be serious about this particular one case also now, if they don't want to show that they have been involved? What is the next step if the government does not take action? Just as how they are not taking action with many other cases where land encroachment or land pata is concerned.
See, we have received complaint about that matter also, including this encroachment of government land, public land, Mohanagam land by individuals. Itu like you said, itu train station lah tu. Encroachment land kan issue tu at district administration with all the COSOs, and especially under Naga Council. Collectively mohan itu issue tu. Itu Naga Council pura lead program khota ka. So I think the right person, the right body to give answer is Naga Council, headed by the Naga Council. Obviously, we are also into it with the Naga Council. So hole kwan ishna itu development kurse gulu to itu to when it comes to itu article 371 there. See, I'll tell you article 371.
Forgive me for stopping you there, but what my colleague asked is, what will be the next step of the DNSU if the state government does not take action on this issue?
In this issue, no, they will have to. They are supposed to be. They are supposed to be a caretaker of the. Of the safety of the people. I mean, what to say? What do I call it? I forgot. I'm getting nervous now. That's why. Constitution says they are supposed to follow that. No? They are the caretaker, and they are the law enforcement agency. They are the authority, right authority. So it is their duty. They are not above the law. Even if they are authority, they themselves are not above the law.
But
So,
Nirmal Jain seems to be very confident that he's not going to get caught.
whoever is involved with whoever government officials is involved with Nirmal Jail, and that is trying to hijack the genuine issues of the DNSU of the Nagas, that government officials will also be exposed. They cannot run away from this. They cannot run away from this. Itu tu.
আচ্ছা, since আপনি এইটো গভর্নমেন্ট অফিসিয়াল কানুনি মোক থাকলে অ্যাকশন হবো আছে তো আপনি আমরা যে কই দিয়া লাগান সাপটো দিয়ে শুকে তো তাই পাতা তো হইলে তো নাগা মানুষ লাগা নাম্বার লই কিনা নাগা তাই টেকাই হইছে তো যদি এইটো মানুগান লাগা নাম্বার লই কিনা টেকা মানুষে লোকাল মানুষে এইটো বে কাউন্টেবল হবো লাগে তো ইস্যুকে দোয়ানো উপরে আপনি এক্সপোজ করুন না নকরব আর দোয়ানো উপরে আপনি কারবাই করুন না
Itu ina ase. There are kinds of fraudster. Legally man ke fraud korala, legally man ke scam korala, illegally korala ase. To ami khan itu apni local ase. Apni jai kina mati tu nirmal asle mati tu apna document asu to apni tu kobo tu mola mati asu kono kobo to court jale bhi to documents apna number banai gina ase. To in that case ami khan itu we are not the right authority to comment on that. Karwai jabo investigation jagna investigation job shide takhan for example local number mati tu legi na ase nirmal tu na to he has the right to buy land to tai tu system tu gusinta khila su to nobody can do anything with nirmal Jain tai tu kan bishi butana su unfortunately tala indigenous par ta durgina ek din tu durbo ka dita su tai sakon mon biya kurgina se তাই একটা এনাকা হারাম মনে আছে তো তাই আজি দুঃখ পাইছে দিল দিবি যেখানে দুঃখ পাইছে ইদিবি দুঃখ পাইছে হ্যাঁ তো क्या असली ताई एग्जाम्पल जीती निर्मल पर डॉक्यूमेंट्स बनाए से ताई नागा बना से ताला नंबर ताला दग नंबर ठीक नहीं wrong occupation ठीक नहीं तो in that case we can also question the local उला पर भी दग नंबर ठीक ताकि से ना पता kan ठीक ताकि से तो even if we know that is निर्मल जन ता मत ऐसे भी तो local मन पर ही हराम ऐसे ताई पर local मन पर ताई के support पर से तो मैं ताकि क्यों करूँगा होली भी मैं कहा तो निर्मल जन ने issue लाते हैं इतु local पर जोर पर issue के लिए तो that will also prove that he is also actively involved with निर्मल जन नन होय तो इतना तो कुन भी नागा मन कुन भी नागा निर्मल जन के बच्चा बोली बाहर नहीं थे निर्मल जन तो कोई ताई नेशनल वर्कर्स कंगे जेट का सब ताई ना मुख बहादुर ऐसे हम भी कहूँ तो मैं भी अमिताभ बच्चन के जने कहूँ तो मैं भी सेम रहे को 2 बार 3 बार लोग पूछे तो फोटो भी खींचे तो मैं भी ना मैं भी वही पता नहीं मिनिस्टर के जने तो नंबर भी आसे मैं भी तो मैं भी को पाऊँ तो मैं भी इन नालों का नंबर आसे तो श्रीम नालों ला मैं भी सर्टिफिकेट वाला नंबर आसे तो as a social worker we are contact मैं भी फोटो खींचना आसे ना और मैं भी नेशनल वर्कर्स के जने खानदान खान भी नेशनल वर्कर्स खान दे आसे ना तो मैं भी जाने को तो but these are all misuse टाइप इन्हीं misuse को manipulate करसे आमी जाना तक तो होय गवर्नमेंट ऑफिसर्स कलना इन्वॉल्वमेंट था पर होली भी ताई गवर्नमेंट कहीं भी ताई misuse करे से इतनी इंडिजिनस तो मैं जाना तक तो गवर्नमेंट तक भी नाचिंग था क्यों दी नाचिंग था क्यों if I am not wrong होली भी everybody नागा मानो होगी दिमाग में धागा मन नागा मानो होगी प्लेस मानो होगी everybody knows that निर्मल जन came in early 80s itu सब मन कोई हर निर्मल जन तक खानी तो अलग हो itu ऐसे
Apart from all the facts and figures that you have provided, at the end of the day, what matters is this real Nirmal Jain, whom you allege is now in Manipur, the son of Balchan is the first name. Balchan.
There is no such evidence of that, but we can go for RTI also. RTI marang itu electoral to shi question hona na itu to tala bacha khan ko jai jise itu mohan we do par bol bi
No, what you're alleging is this Nirmal Jain, the so-called Nirmal Jain, is claiming himself to be the son of Baljan Jain. Now, Baljan Jain laga bacha bhi Nirmal Jain ka kakani to taido.
no asul to tala babala nam bi balchan jen ase aru utu malna nam bi balchan jen ase
So, okay.
for example he is Michael Kat I am Hinoto to tala babala nam tu kaki gi thakise aru mala babala nam bi kaki gi thakise
Yes.
So,
Okay. So,
yes so I took his father's name and
So now, the real sons and daughters of Baljan Jain, have you tried contacting them?
No,
and then can they come and prove? Because in the court of law, that will be the only admissible fact.
It is claimed that they fully migrate to
see
Manipur.
even if they don't come in witness or not that isn't the issue here because Nirmal Kumar Jain la bhai to Pratip Jajar asu to aro Dilip Jajar asu to ye to bahas to takan bi Ashok Jajar asu to Bhauriwalal Balchan Jain to Nirmal la dada bhi noy bhuni bhi noy Mahavir Prasad bhi Balchan Jain bhi Mahavir Prasad Balchan Jain bhi tala दादा भी न भाई भी न कापुर जानी तो इतु का नासु तो किना इतु ताला बाबा की क्लेम करा तो इतु बाबा तो ताला छुकरा खान तो अलग आसे और निर्मल जैन ला भाई खान तो अलग आसे तो ठीक आसे निर्मल की मिसा कबो तो हर माने से प्रादीप जसर तो ताला दादा भी नहीं होगी ना अचानक भी गो परे हल भी आधार कार्ड पान कार्ड आसे तो डॉक्यूमेंटेशन आसे तो तादर दूर लोगो सो इतु तो they don't have to come all the way from Manipur also इतु दिनी proof evidence इतना आसे
अच्छा तो सेकेंडली अपनी कॉल इन सब तो कई लेन माफिया ए किबा प्रेसिंग ना पासे और 4 लेन लास्ट साइड वाले भी मती विकास है तो काय लगा स्पेसिफिकली कुंदु एरिया रे काय ऑपरेट करे और सेकेंडली अपार्ट फ्रॉम दिस लेन माफिया अलखन देवी इन्वॉल्व पासे गुना यदि भी आपका कुंदु करे तो अला की दे और इन्वॉल्व पासे पब्लिक कमेंट दे
I am already आपने क्या कोई दिश नहीं माती बिशी बिकाई के ना से ताई ना तो नागा मल्ला नंबर आता माथी बिका के ना से ना तो नागा मल्ला तो मारवाड़ी तो वो तो मारवाड़ी समझ तो सप्लाई करेंगे तो खान तो जब ना माथी किमान बिका के ना से किमान नॉन लोकल्स का मतलब किमान तो नॉन लोकल्स 80% बाल्चन जिसमें बिका लासो तो we don't have to tell you ना आमी असर निर्मल जिसमें बिका लासो तो ना किमान नॉन लोकल्स इतना माथी के ना से almost all the lands they bought it from Nirmal Jain. So that is the living witness. To kan ishna ami kan ek expose kuru kase ami kan jai no kote mati kote kinshe kule to Nirmal Jain koi to documents ko kule to Nagamana nam thake. So this is it. Holy bit tate by chance Nagamana pra king na thakishe aru itu man kan musa pra indigenous thakishe. Indigenous thakishe to kinbo pare. That means Baljajan is very smart. Second thing is by chance pra indigenous man 1930 will be indigenous certificate thakane ko be itb to thik nai na. Now the problem is mati iman bigai gina se indigenous thaka man na thaka man ko kon government officials kan pra land pata banwa ha tumte itu planes man kan la nun locals kan na indigenous certificate manga nai ho. That we are also wondering, we are also trying to find out. Now second thing is Nagaman to आजिकली तो मीडिया खान उलाइशे नहीं ले तो बिशक पोरा टाइम तो मीडिया खान इमान क्या था नहीं तो एक्सेसिबल था नहीं तो सो नागामान निजोर कुमा नागामान तो इतना भी बोसी पाला जाचिलो तो ताकन भी ना ताकन तो नाची तो प्लेन आम खान नॉन लोकल्स के बिगाव ना पड़े ताकन बिगाव लाइबो तो सामलेन ओनर पोला पुराना मन खान तो नाचिंग बिगाई से बड़े तो बिगाई दिशे नाचन के ना अरे तू नॉन लोकल के बिगाई अरे तू नॉन लोकल भी ले लो शे नाचन के होइशी भी किनिशे गुलो तो then revenue officer jagina pata banabo to breakers and officers kan hoju to tahan to you are not supposed to buy this ko parbo to am kan chin regulation article 371 and land revenue officer regulation ka se ko parbo to so kwan is there is a high chances kunma man system to buskin bi kam kora thakyo parogena ami to ka ase halbi first thing nirmal ke action ba like we need to stop him tai to jane ase Deni sala pisha guna jana sa mati sab bigai kina nagamala mati sab bigai kina tai pola jabala su to cross person na pola jabala su to idu ko thobo we need to stop him
So all the people who have bought land from him, the non-locals, will they be displaced?
we will do fact finding if we find any guilty ma kurmo aru din bi atai khan jain samaj kan aise jain samaj kan ha to jain samaj kan bi निर्मल प्रा लाइन कोटिशे कुशे बना तो होले भी जैन समाज को जैन समाज को दिजे अच्छा मंदिर थागिशे ना फॉर एग्जांपल दिस इशू इज वेरी इंपोर्टेंट सॉरी इट्स रिलेटेड दिस इशू ओनली ओके बट इट्स वेरी इंपोर्टेंट टू नागा पीपल शुड नो अच्छा नॉन लोकल्स कैन इंडिजिनस सर्टिफिकेट दी के ना माटी किनमो पारे इंडिजिनस सर्टिफिकेट नाइ कोले तो माटी किनमो ना पारे ना नय तो नॉन लोकल्स ऑर्गेनाइजेशन खान किने की दी के ना माटी किने under which legal terms what documents under which legal terms can the non-Nagas NGOs buy a land? It is very important again. At the kun legal terms likhe na ase. Ami kan down company kan noile NGOs kan ke bahar man kai ke mati kin bo ni de do. We stop them. To yete thaka man kan. To where I'm saying this is chances kya ase bole to. Ami kan to example Bengali samaj na Bihari samaj noile Jain samaj मारोरी समाज का नंबर माटी 1000 acres of land ni kin gena rakhilbu ta ham to ino kono duma tu man ke lagai dibo ki kor parbo to under which legal term digina se idibi mon question ko lagi de give be example nagaman hat pra in terms of crop kin lobo kuma nagaman to posa gule to pagla jod na to in terms of crop ni kilbo bi nam pra to give deed na mati to give deed pra ta ham deed bu to they have money ekbar itu khul dibi na one with they pura Nagaland kin lo idu they have money so this is the thing that the government of Nagaland should also itu issue kan itu chances of exploiting us in so many ways itu kan bon kurbo lage even the non locals NGOs they cannot buy land stop kurbo lage makan religious practice ase mandir thakibo lage noile kiba kunba man family kan give di dikena school kan khullishe that's a different thing but apart from that it is stop kurbo lage mostly they have money and NGOs non locals NGOs they have money and there is no such legal terms that the outsiders NGOs can buy land na likha nahi to at least indigenous thaka man te kino pare ke na ase for individual non nagas indigenous to halbi itu samaj la under the indigenous na thaka man bi kam kara su to तो एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन तो ह्यूमन बीइंग नय तखन कोन तो लीगल डॉक्यूमेंट्स दिगना माती किना से आई मीन सबमिट करकिना एनजीओ से इंडिजिनस सर्टिफिकेट नहीं तो ताकिना माती किनो परे इट कैन बी स्टॉप कोड बोला के mohan itu tahan yu kogina mohan tahan ucha apni kan bajens project samaj kan mati kingen ase koli to apni kan kut indigenous to developing hoy organization non living thing na to kina dishe kosle ini kinsho ko ase to matlab tahan ini kin le sha ikut ditra thakane ini banale shu sha ara mohan we are thinking to buy more land and bring more development in Dimambu Gazi. Nah, we are thinking to buy more land again, build a school for Naga people Gazi. To build a school for Naga people, we're gonna put Dimambu and Jola number King in the Sleko. Little to say, it be someone like it too.
Exactly which areas also are there that he has occupied land and selling it off, so that whoever is buying at this moment, they will be aware that it's going to be disputed or if that problem
Disputed areas here. I don't know how this.
Look, area.
I mean,
specific area.
no, so I mean, I think I have kept the details in my home.
Okay.
See, one is now specific details. Will be I can question. Will be budget. Budget. I'm going specific details. Going to be if a person is found to be a genuine. Nah, that genuine. I think they can also put up a defamation case against us. So as of now.
Just mention the areas.
No, that as of now, unless we do fact finding pressure.
We also need facts and reports.
Likewise, one
See, first of all, let us stick here. American verification is going on. Fact finding, I say, we cannot just randomly give out. Please understand our position also. They also have their rights. They also have their advocates. There are due legal procedure they are also doing. Now let's stick it to the Nirmal having this fake indigenous certificate. Fraud kurigena, government ke dhokha digena, tai banaigena, tai tu indigenous gena, itu loigena, mati kiman kinkina se, tala property kiman se itu seize korbo lagya, tala indigenous seize korbo lagya, in order to stop his other activities also. Are itu indigenous nampra kiman the benefit, kiman the activities, ki business korse, kiman beneficiaries tai loigena se, itu stop korbo lagya. First let's stick to this, and then for other, if we find anything again we'll call you back and we'll expose it in the public domain.
Last thing, verification drive ILP. Does this mean that the government needs to now really enforce strictly that these are not from way back, they have fake indigenous certificate?
Actually, encroachment of land and issuing of indigenous certificate is a bit different from ILP actually again. That's different thing. ILP is actually, it is not called inner line permit actually. ILP is supposed to be inner line pass. Aisha, they can extend but they cannot renew again. They have to go back.
Someone like Nirmal Jain has fake documents, so he's going to get
ILP exactly.
easily.
So poila tahan government of Nagaland pra ILP nidia karni ILP impose no kara karni to itu Nirmal Jain kan pra itu hasu to. That is why ILP is needed kwasu mohan to na. So as of now administration kan pra ILP impose kurishe na. So let us also be as a citizen, as a US and media fraternity, at this juncture, at least government is doing something. So I can government ke support korle bhalo hobo naki. Ek fully implement to kora bhale aste face by face. In notice that there Arunachal hobi Mizoram hobi. Kot hobi ta kami first ILP thakap de they were hiccup bhal smooth badalo parane. There were so lot of hurdles and loopholes. So sub-district sub-state भी ना था तो obviously महान government of Nagaland भी इतने impose करने तो problem भी थकीबो inconvenience थकीबो but let us support the government इतो ILP भाल पर impose करा फिर offline खान की कन government के allowed कर भी इतने फिर we'll see it what modalities should be there किनागा what type of mechanism to check इतो तो आरा महान we can further proceed on that part. Yeah.
When are you submitting to DC?
By tomorrow. Actually, we thought of submitting today, but due to some unavoidable circumstances, we couldn't.